Ooh, I know this.
Does it have to be fictional? No, let's just come with any book.
Would you like to go first?
No, you go. I don't know.
I have a book for you kids called The Fountainhead, and it's a very controversial book. It's quite long, and it's very tedious. However, if you guys are really into reading, or maybe, whenever you can take it. I mean, everybody's at a different age when they can actually sit down and take this book in. And there's a character named Howard Rourke in there, and he's also a ginger, ironically. There's no connection there, but
are you sure?
I swear to you, believe me, he's like 6'5" and very skinny. Believe me, there's no connection.
You're skinny?
No, honey. And so I like my food. And so, there's this character named Howard Rourke, and he's like the most. I can't say like in describing Howard Rourke. He is the most humbled and just. He works to love the work, and it's the most interesting character, and his intentions and his characteristics are unlike any other character I've ever seen, or John Locke from Lost, but that's from a TV show, not a book. But they're both similar, so I suggest The Fountainhead, ladies and gentlemen.
I've only finished really 2 books that I can remember in my entire life, and one was Black Beauty, and I would love to be that horse, because that was a sexy horse. Or Great Gatsby. I think it would be really cool to play gay. Oh! Also, maybe Boo Radley. These are all books I read in high school.
Boo Radley, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, I really liked To Kill a Mockingbird. That was a good book. So maybe Boo Radley. He was very, he was misunderstood.
Boo and Howard would be really good friends.
Howard from, what's it called?
The Fountainhead.
Mm-hmm.
Hi! I love your wall!
Hi, Andrea.
Hi, oh my god, just
how are you?
No one ever says my name right.
How else would you say it? Andrea?
I don't know.
But Andrea.
Andrea.
You look like an Andrea.
Do you have any Blink-182 posters on that wall over there?
No, but I have a couple of pictures of you guys.
Oh, that's even better. Let me see. Where? Which one?
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, totally. That's awesome.
This is so cool.
This is really cool. I like it. This is awesome.
You get to see people's walls.
Yeah, this is great. Is that Harry Styles up there? Right there, is that Harry Styles?
Friday.
Yeah, it's definitely Harry Styles. I saw a dog the other day that looked exactly like Harry Styles. It was the weirdest thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was so weird.
A swoop?
No, it was more of his face.
Was there a Taylor Swift dog next to her?
There was actually. But it was actually just Taylor Swift.
On all fours?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're gonna be murdered.
Right now.
We're gonna be like an anti-Taylor Swift.
Do you have a question, Andrea?
Oh yeah. My question was, if anything at all could happen to your character, like at all, what would it be?
I think Scott. Oh God, I want to say something stupid and funny, but that's just not the time for it. I think if Scott I think Scott would be a good daddy. I think if Scott had a baby, I think he would be a very good dad. That's what I want to happen to Scott.
You have to have sex for that to happen.
Which doesn't happen.
I'm gonna say I want Lydia to cut her hair and wear flats, but that would ruin Lydia. So that's what I want her to do. I don't see that. That's more supernatural for Lydia than growing hair out of her chest. She would never cut her hair or wear flats.
Yeah,
I unfortunately thought I would.
Lydia wears a lot of high heels, which causes some problems on set when we have to run for our lives. When the first season, when we're running through the school away from the giant hairy alpha, you remember that?
Yeah,
Holland was
flashed
literally
the camera.
my
legs went up from under me.
Oh yeah,
And feet first slid into home into this camera. And it was like it crashed, the whole thing. Who were they worried about? The camera, not me.
No.
The camera's the biggest diva on every single set.
Because back then,
it's so expensive.
we were nobody. We were nobody back then. Nobody
they're
loved
always
us.
worried about Panavision.
That's true.
It's the biggest.
Or the Aries? Aries?
The Red and the Alexis.
Alexis. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Olivia!
Hi,
Hi,
Olivia!
Olivia Q. Hi. How are you? I like your curtains. Are those royal purple or lavender?
Lavender's light. That's what
They're
purple.
Yeah.
That's the color of the dynasties. Or of royalty, I should say.
Royalty.
Dynasties. Don't you love two stupid actors running our podcast?
You are so smart. What are you talking about? Last night, Holland gave the best answers I have ever heard in my entire life on Love Line. She was so smart and quick and precise, and she blew me out of the water.
You're very sweet. It was fun.
It was fun.
I was so nervous for Love Line. I've never been, as y'all can tell on this podcast where I talk too much, never nervous. Not really. And last night I was literally shaking. I was so scared. And he was like, I'm so excited. I'm like, I'm not.
I was nervous too, though. I was excited nervous.
Oh my god, I was so nervous. But then once you do it, it's fine. Dr. Drew and Psycho Mike are really professional.
They were so good at their job. Okay, Lydia, do you have a question?
What is Love Line?
I'm sorry. Oh, what is Love Line? Is it's like an after dark kind of talk show on the radio on K-Rock.
Do to look. Can I speak tonight? I don't think so. This is just an off Lydia day. This is off Lydia after dark. This is okay. So due to how old you look, it might be a few years.
Yeah, Love Line gets pretty offensive. There's a lot of. It's basically just teenagers calling for advice about
Not
relationships.
Teenagers. Older than that, usually.
Well, a lot of us are like 19. Late teenagers calling for advice about girlfriends, relationships, sex. You know, it's basically anything that you want to talk about and have questions for. Because that's a serious. I'm not joking. That wasn't supposed to be funny. But yeah, no, it's a really cool show. I used to listen to it all the time in high school. So being on it was just like a huge dream come true.
It's been on for 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah. But it's a great relationship and sex advice website or radio
show. Yeah. They give a lot of really, really good advice. Especially, I was going to say something really lame.
I wanted to ask if you could rename the show, what would you call it?
I've actually wanted it to call it this because Teen Wolf is a great name and it's a great homage to the original movie, but it's so different from the actual movie that I think that we should name it something different. And I've always wanted to call it Scott and Styles. I think that would just be such a cool name, just Scott and Styles. But then obviously we live Lydia out, so we would have to call it Scott, Styles, and Lydia, or Lydia because it's alphabetical order. So Lydia, Scott, and Styles.
I'm trying to think.
That's all you need. You don't need
Honestly, I think my opinion would be you can't name it anything else aside from Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf from the 80s needs to change its name to Basketball with hair and everything. Like, we get to keep the name. They don't get to keep the name. Like, seniority does not rule here. Like, content rules, and we're about Teen Wolves. They're about Michael J. Fox in basketball suits. Like, no.
But it's a great movie.
Oh, I love that movie, but I don't think it should have been named Teen Wolf. I think we're more Teen Wolf than they are.
I guess so.
You know
maybe we should call it Angst Wolf. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah.
That makes more sense, because we're very angsty. Bye, Olivia.
Bye, Olivia.
All right, let's see. I'm hot. Should I take my shirt off?
Hi!
Dion?
Oh my God, Holland, Dion. Holland, you're so flawless. I love you. And Posey, you're so awesome. My question
is not going well today.
You are.
You're still flawless. But my question is, how was your casting process? Like, were you nervous? Like, did you go in thinking, oh, I got this? Or were you even expecting a call back? How was it?
You go first. Yours was like the big casting.
My casting process was nerve-wracking. I was very nervous. I'm always nervous during auditions, and this one specifically because of Teen Wolf. And I was the lead of the show, and I'd never played a lead before. But then, like, I kind of got the idea. Like, I was during my third audition. We had to audition with everybody, and there was a person reading for my role and me. So there were two people reading for each role, and by that point, they kept calling me back into the room. So I was kind of confident that I had gotten the role, but I still wasn't sure yet. And then I got the call that we got it. So yeah, I was a little nervous, but still, I was confident at heart.
My story is a little bit on the funnier side. I remember being at this intersection. Yeah, he's gonna probably go pee. Yeah, I knew that. It's coming. We're very casual over here, Lydia After Dark. So yeah, I would say my process was I went in for Allison because I was at this intersection. I get a call from my agent saying there's this new show called Teen Wolf, and we have this thing called pilot season from January to March. And this was right before pilot season. This is like late November, early December. Get the call. My agent reads off saying there's two new characters. Which one do you want to go out for? There's two girls. One's the new girl in town. One's like the model, runway off Milan, runways off Milan or out of Milan or I don't know, something like that. And so basically, it was like a model and the new girl. And I thought, okay, well, I'm clearly not the model, so let's go in for the new girl. I went through 3 audition processes up to network right before the test because it's like a pre-read callback network test is somehow usually how it goes. And so yeah, that's what I did. I got to network, and then they did not come back for the test because they said, look, we have our girl, but we really like you. Please come back for another character. We're interested. And so about a month later, they called me back for Lydia. And so since they'd already seen me, as far as all the producers and the network goes, I just went on tape with this. No, Danny, were you in the room? Yeah, right over here. And so they just called me back over, like, just to tape. And I remember waiting for Lydia, and I remember thinking, oh my God, this is so funny, because I'm sitting in this room with all these models, like 7 of them, and like straight up 5'10", flat-footed, and I'm like, hey, this is a joke. And so, funny enough that I went to the wrong building, and they wouldn't let me into the main lobby, and they made me go all the way around, and I was in these like 6-inch heels, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And I remember like hoofing it down the street, looking like probably like I'm selling my body. And so, like a woman of the streets, and in Santa Monica. And I remember having to walk around like 2 blocks, this 2-block radius. And I'm like, really? You couldn't let me into the freaking lobby? Watch me book this, and I'm gonna come back and be like, watch me walk through your lobby now. And I remember being really pissed about that. So I had like a weird inkling of, wouldn't it be funny if I booked this? And sure enough, big mistake. And I still remember what she looked like who wouldn't let me in. And so,
she blew all those ugly girls out of the
no, I played the character very differently than it was originally written.
They were all so ugly, I remember.
Oh yeah. No, they were very beautiful, but I played it more of like a smart girl and very delusionally pretty. Like, sure, she's cute, but she's not the model. And they liked it. They thought it was funny, so they hired me.
They thought you were beautiful as well. You scratched your leg. What happened here?
Oh, that's fine.
No, I thought so. I had a huge scratch on my thigh from my dog.